And we are live. Hello, and welcome to this Inspire Hack 2017 update and last invite. We have an extensive program today. We have as many as 8 presenters, and we will stay within the hour. You will learn about the Inspire Hackathon, the second of its kind. We have a little twist. And the twist is that you can do the hacking the rest of the month. And then the finale will be at the Inspire conference in Karel/Strasbourg, the 5th of September. Now, before I go further, I will introduce myself. My name is Bente Liljaby. I'm one of the co-organizers and representing a Horizon 2020 project called Next Kiosk. You will learn more about the other organizers, Plan for All, the Data Bio project and Skin project. You will learn more about those, and we are the group of organizers. But we have a tremendous team of hackers with us here today, and we will present them one by one. So, we can start with you, Joan. Maso, can you say who you are?
Yes, I'm Joan Maso. I work at CREAF, that's a research center on ecology and forest applications. In Barcelona, I have been involved on the developing of special data infrastructures and geo for a while. And also in Inspire, and I'm here in this hackathon presenting something about user feedback.
So, Karel, you can speak.
Sorry, my mic was off. I'm Karel. I work at the University of West Bohemia. My specialty is multidimensional data modeling. I focus on three-dimensional data modeling in GIS, and I work on the 3D open land use visualization for this hackathon.
Raul?
Yes, hi. My name is Raul Palma. I am from Poznan Supercomputing and Networking Center in Poland. I am having my main expertise in semantic technologies. I am a coordinator of semantic technologies in PSNC. And in this hackathon, I am leading the team of linked data generation, basically on some data sets from open land use, open transport map, and smart points of interest.
Hello, my name is Karel Charvat. I'm together with Bente and Thomas Mulder co-organizing this hackathon. My expertise is in GI, Inspire, Geos, and I am working on Data Bio, Next Geos, Skin, and other projects.
Hello, my name is Michal Kepka. I'm a PhD student and a researcher at the University of West Bohemia in Pilsen, Czech Republic. And my specialization are sensor data, and the development of mobile applications. I'm leading the team for mobile application for open land use in usage.
So, Bente, do I have start with introduction presentation or? Do you see my window?
Yes, Karel, we can see your presentation.
Okay, so I will start with my presentation. Yes? Yeah, yes, I start share my screen already.
Yes, Karel, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So I will explain what is Inspire Hack and what plan and how you can join our work, our hackathon, and how you can participate. It will be short introduction before people will go to the technical things. So this is already second hackathon organized by our team on Inspire, and hackathon will be the final stage of the hackathon will be on Tuesday, 5th of September. There will be two sessions on the morning at 9 at 11, where all results coming from hackathon will be introduced. Why is today this webinar? We would like to open possibility for other people to join existing teams. There were already a lot of done, but I think that some new idea could be welcome, or is the chance to join already existing teams, bring new data, new teams, and help them to work and to deliver some very
connection
interesting
there for
results.
a while.
In reality, it is now
we are coming back.
Yeah.
Are we coming back? Yes, there you are again.
Yeah. So there is now a last chance to join the team and to join our community. I think that we will not finish with this hackathon. The idea is support, cooperation, and work projects and activity also on. So what are the objectives? It is the goal is to activate some knowledge, and other data, collect information related to environment, agriculture, forestry, focus on VGIS and citizens observatory, and of course the main target are open data. I think that our hackathon is a little different from other hackathons which are normally organized, because these hackathons are mainly focused on could be students, startups, and other. Here with this hackathon, we take other focus. What we see as one from the big problem of European, and I think that not only European research, is that results are already not sustainable. Some tools, some data are prepared, and with the end of the project, all this disappear, and new projects are starting from beginning, from zero level again and again. And I think that it is not the best way. We are trying in Plan for All to guarantee some continuation, and we agreed with some number of the project to try to join activity and support cooperation of different team, different people, different experts. They use data and the tools, and of course to provide it also some feasibility which will demonstrate how Inspire and JAWS principle could be used. You will see number of presentation of different projects or pilot, but if you will look on this, you can see that many of these pilot could go together, and in some way probably will be very easy to connect the different pilot into something bigger, and to help to building some Inspire and JAWS infrastructures. Here are organizations which are supporting this year. This hack, it is Plan for All association. It is association based on previous project and managing now large data set like open land use, smart point of interest, open transport net, data bio project, which is focused on big data in agriculture, forestry and fishing, next geos project supporting geos, and skin project, which is focused on food supply chain. We also the different approach for this hackathon than last year. Last year, we provided the main activities during the Inspire conference. This year, we put longer time for development, and the hacking work is running during all August, and Inspire workshop will be used to present the result to broader community and discuss the result with the Inspire Geos and other communities. How you can join the team? The easiest is you will see the list of the leaders of the team to contact directly the people and start cooperate. So here you can see the team and who are leaders of team. Not all are today present, but you can contact them, or you can eventually contact me and I will help you to join some team to start cooperation with or you can also go to the registration, register yourself as the part of hackathon, and then look on the ideas about the hackathon and put your name. But in any case, I prefer that you will go directly to the team leaders and you will work with them. But of course, till now, if you have something what you are able to deliver in 2 weeks, you are welcome to start with a completely new idea. So you can introduce also your team here and to start work. If you would like to promote your result or something, you can contact Thomas Mulder, and anything what you will send him about your work is presented on the Plan for All portal. The main goal is not compete but cooperate, because it's important. I mentioned that we are really looking for cooperation, but in any case, we would like to select the best solution. So, and we will organize 3 type of awards. One will be through the jury, which will award it the best presentation. Second, every participant on Inspire workshop will be able to vote for the best, and we will also organize voting on the internet, which will run after Inspire conference, and we will announce the best result on the Plan for All conference. This personal event will be some follow-up, and we also will plan some possibility for hackathon in person 1 month after. So we hope that some work could cooperate, or we can generate some common ideas from the project and to build something on the top. And this will be the part of hackathon which will be in the person and which will be announced soon. So here you can see the list of the project. Any results are presented on this web page, and we are presented also on Facebook. So this is all from introduction, and I would like to go back, and I think that Bente will ask first presenter to start his presentation.
Yes. Karel, did you turn off your screen share?
Yes, I did it already.
Okay, it's a lag. The system, we apologize for.
Yes, I will. Let me see if I can share my. Say that I'm working here and I'm Joan Maso. We were engaged in a project was called GeoViqua. We work with data quality, and we believed that geospatial user feedback was useful. So we injected this idea in XGeos. Now we are participating in this Inspire hackathon. And actually, I would like to go there. It seems that it's in September and it's in Health in Germany. So I'm going to book a hotel. And I found lots of hotels here, and there is one that is particularly fancy for the photograph. And there is some official information about how it works and so on. But the people really of user feedback. So actually, you can read the feedback of the people, and you the pillars are okay or are not okay. I'm going to go for this one probably. So what I was wondering is, here we have our Geo in Inspire. You can find something here, but the thing is you are going to get some little bit different, no? But actually, you are looking for the same thing. You are looking for pieces of information. You click this information related with Corinne, and you get a metadata record, official information, the scope, and the lineage, and so on. It could be great. We are able then to comment into this data set, and this is precisely what I'm doing here. So what we did was to copy the portal, the Inspire portal. This is a bit of a hack. So we are having Inspire portal. We are duplicating the portal, and we are injecting a little bit of code just for the fun of it. Of course, we are removing the official logo because it's no longer official. But the idea is that we can still look for Corinne in Spain, and well, let's go for this. The important thing here is that we are able to post feedback. And what I'm going to do is to post very fast some feedback about I'm signing in and I'm saying that this is two cores, two not detailed enough for my application, and I don't have much time, so I will give that 3 stars because resolution issue. And this is what I'm reporting here just live. I'm going to create this and immediately I'm going back to the portal, and I can get here the feedback that I already submitted. And this feedback can with other feedback items that other people are going to start providing in principle. This mechanism has been designed in the second DCAD catalog, the second catalog actually, and later we will try to convince Geos on integrating that Geos common infrastructure. And since it's an independent component, we were able to integrate it here into the Inspire Geo portal. Back to you, Ben. Just 1 minute extra for me. Sorry about that.
Yes, yes, it is okay. So maybe I will start with. Can you hear me? Okay, okay. So I work as a cartographer and geoinformatics analyst together with Karel and Czech organization Less Project. And at this hackathon, I basically, I think, take part in all teams, but I have lead of three of them. I lead Open Land Use for Africa team, also metadata catalog for open land use, and the third one is visualization of WebGL visualization of smart points of interest. So maybe I will start with metadata catalog that we are developing for open land use. So I will turn my screen. It's just enough to turn the button. Do you see my screen or not? Okay, okay. Now.
Yeah, well, it's challenging. The technology is challenging today. Are you? Well, we seem to have lost him. His screen share is on. Can you hear me, Karel?
I can hear you.
Yeah, okay. But we don't hear Dimitri.
Oh.
Okay. No. So then I guess we will you let him retry later.
Yeah.
And then maybe give the floor to Raul. Will you give it a try?
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me become presenter.
Share your screen.
We are
Can you see
seeing your screen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So let me put here. Okay. So I am going to talk about this linked data generation group that we have been working. What have been we've been doing during the last couple of weeks, actually. So basically, well, as you know, just as a short introduction, like linked data is increasingly becoming one of the most popular methods for publishing data on the web, especially when we are talking about open data. That is one of the main topics that we are addressing here, as Karel said at the beginning. So there are many different benefits of what can you do once the data is in semantic format and published as linked data. But the problem is that in many cases we still are lacking this kind of data for particular applications or domains. So even though, as you see here in this linked open data cloud, is quite huge right now, so there are many data sets published as linked data. But especially for agriculture, is a bit more scarce. So, well, obviously, one of the benefits of publishing as linked data is the improved accessibility to this data. So, basically, to lower the barriers on finding and reusing the data, and also it enables an easy and straightforward integration with other data sets and also in different applications. And of course,
I just joined it because I was off for leaving the time slot, but I mean the slot for presenter. But if there is no one presenting, I can start with presentation.
I was presenting now. Who is it? Dimitri, or who is it now?
Okay, so okay, I don't see anything. Sorry.
You don't see? Okay, wait. Maybe I was here now better.
You are.
We saw your presentation, Raul. So I don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing, you are not in presenting mode. You are in edit mode, but apart from that, it's fine.
So you can see now my presentation.
Absolutely.
Okay, fine. So anyways, just to finalize with this, that once with the data is in RDF format, there are many different things that we can do to discover links and basically with other data sets, and based on that to discover new knowledge and exploit it also with some semantic technologies through some SparkQL queries. So what was the goal of this team? We wanted to generate linked data from open land use, dataset, open transport map, smart point of interest, and other related data sets. So the main tasks that we identified were first to collect and or transform these data sets into RDF, then to define the links between objects in these data sets, build and store these data relations. And since we are talking about very large data sets, we need to be very, let's say, careful about the large scalability of the technology that we are using. Then we wanted to define some queries to actually exploit this linked data, and finally to prepare some simple visualizations. So depending on the time, we will see how far we can go with this. So about the first task regarding the transformation, so it was really a very intensive work to transform into RDF format or these open land use and open transport map datasets. They were originally in a PostgreSQL relational database, and we needed to transform them into RDF. So that was the first very challenging task, and especially because datasets like OLU depends on other objects in other datasets like coding, urban atlas, and cadastral.
Who's presenting now?
This is me, Raul. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, Raul.
Yes.
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. So these related data sets, we were also transforming them into RDF format. So in order to do this transformation, we needed to define first some ontologies to represent the data in RDF format. And these are the ontologies, these are the links to these ontologies, which are open. And the next step was to carry out the transformation itself. So for this, we used a platform which is called D2RQ, which uses some mapping files to execute the transformation. These mapping files are themselves as well in RDF. So this was also a very time-consuming process to generate the mapping between the relational data into the semantic format. And of course, since we are dealing with a very large data sets, we decided just to select or to filter some particular areas. So, for example, for data sets like Hilux, which are very small, we transform it all. But for Corin and Urban, for example, we transform all the agricultural related lands in Europe, and also for the main cities in Czech Republic, Poland, and Spain. For open land use, we transform data for agricultural lands in these 3 countries, and also the main cities in these 3 countries. And for Open Transform Map as well, we did it for Czech Republic, Spain, and Poland. But also with additional filter, we used road links only that are classified as main road, first class road, second class road, third class road, or the fourth class road. So we did some kind of selection. And even with this kind of selection, the transformation was taking a lot of time. So it was very time consuming because there was, gigabytes of data that had been that were transformed and transferred between different servers. So this was with respect to the transformation. And of course, once we transformed this, we put and loaded everything into one of triple store. We put everything in a Virtuoso instance. That is endpoint here. You can see this is open, so you can navigate. This is the SparkQL endpoint, and this is a faceted search browser endpoint as well that you can use. And these are some statistics of the final loading.
But shall I do presentation now? Because I don't know. I see that Raul is needs to present now, or it's me.
I am presenting now, Dimitri. I think Dimitri is not listening very much. The rest of you, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can hear you. I think Dimitri, I don't know if you hear us, Dimitri, but
yes, now I hear. Now I hear, but when Raul was speaking, I didn't hear anything.
Oh, but you see his presentation?
No, I just have black screen.
Oh, I see. Very strange. Anyways, we have some technical problems today, obviously. So we will just make the best we can out of it. Raul is presenting now. I think maybe you are very soon finished, Raul.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we will give Dimitri a chance again to share his screen. You disappeared when you tried to share your screens, Dimitri. So yeah, and while I'm talking, send these presentations to me.
Okay.
Raul, finish it. Raul, yeah.
So these are just some statistics of the transformation. So you can see that there are millions of triples generated from this transformation. So we are around 700 millions in the triple store now. Then the next step, of course, is the linking. During the transformation, we connected Olu with some other datasets like Urban, Corin, and the Czech cadastre. And the smart point of interest also includes data connections to to datasets like Divipedia, Link Geodata, GeoNames, and so on, but we still need to discover more. Then the next step was about the queries, as I was saying. So we generated some interesting queries, for example, how to get info of the points of interest in a particular polygon, or how to get the point of interest in a particular open land use, so connecting two datasets, or even connecting three datasets, like show me the land parcels that have hotels that lie no more than 50 meters away from the major highways. So in this case, you see the connection between all the datasets. And finally, about the visualization. So now we are having initial work here. So for example, this is the map that shows these Olu polygons colored by the number of points of interest inside of them. So this is also available for you to check. And this is more dynamic. So when you click on a particular polygon, then you can get additional information about this polygon and the points of interest in this polygon. And then you can see additional information about these points of interest and so on. And this is, you can see here all the links and connections to different other objects. But of course, we still can improve much more the presentation of this data, but this is the stage we have so far. So that's all from my side.
Okay, let me try. Maybe on open air it will be better because inside didn't work. So I will share my screen. Mm-hmm. Things. Yeah, I think it's some problem with this screen sharing, because when I press it, I need to wait for 1 minute until I get this confirmation screen that I need if I want to share it. Okay, now I see it. And I press share. You see, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So okay. So I just have converted the tables that I have in Open Land Use Database as a whole hierarchy to metadata, and it's basically both download service and WMS service. So I can maybe show you some example how it looks in practice, and I have uploaded this metadata to Mitska catalog. I still have some issues, so I haven't converted everything, just some small sample to show you. For example, I search and I select the basically biggest data set, open land use map of European Union. And this basically, in this case, if you click on WMS, you're able to display WMS service of open land use map for the whole Europe. But for example, yes, and here, for example, automatically from the table has generated image of thumbnail of how this open land use map of Europe looks like. However, the size of the data is too big. That's why the download link is given to generic page where you then need to select some smaller parts. And then in the end, you have there is some other metadata that it's all generated automatically from the table, like bounding box is calculated from the table, the temporal extent is calculated from the table. And then you have the objects on which depends this open land use map of European Union. There is like around 28 countries, and not all I generated this metadata, so I just have Czech Republic. So I click the open land use map of Czech Republic, which is NUTS 0 level. And then again, you have all this information like bounding box, temporal extent, all calculated from the table. Then you can proceed to NUTS 1 level, which is also Czech Republic, and then you already have regions which are 8. So you can select some, and then finally, when you get to NUTS 3 level, you are able to press download it. So, for example, you select this Ihochesky region, and when you click on download link, you already it already starts to download. This complete, and for now I just have generated it for Czech Republic up to NUTS 3 level, both these services and WMS services, download services, and some basic meta information. But in future I will generate it for the whole Europe up to NUTS 5 level, which corresponds to municipality. There is just like some problems that it's not so easy even on Eurostat pages to find out the names of all municipalities in Europe, and so it's some these issues. But otherwise, I work on this project on my own, and I think I will manage to present the full catalog when we have hackathon when we have a workshop in Strasbourg. So this is about this, and then can you still hear me? Can you hear me? Ah, okay, good. So now I can proceed to. Okay, so next project, it's open land use for Africa, and basically in this project it was a very big interest from other people. I think about 8-9 people have contacted me that they want to join. And in the beginning, I asked them to, because I'm not from Africa, I'm not like, I know what data sources exist in European Union. I have no overview what exists in Czech Republic, but in Africa, I don't know anything. So I just asked people from there, from Nigeria, from Madagascar, from Lesotho to send me some data sources that they know, and basically I didn't get much. I just get from Dominique from Madagascar. I subdivide these data sets by administrative boundaries, basically. So, and then there was a guy from, he was working, he's from Irish, but he worked in Lesotho for lots of time. So he recommended me OpenStreetMap. So in the beginning, I have downloaded this open land use from OpenStreetMap, and as I got this administrative boundary for Madagascar, I have just generated it for Madagascar, and I can show you how it looks. Basically, it's not so detailed, and it can't cover the whole. It doesn't cover the whole area, so maybe I need to spend some more time to search for some more detailed sources. But let me show you how it looks for Madagascar, for example. Open land use map of Madagascar. So here you have.
I think Dimitri, you need to reshare your screen.
Yeah, I'm very close. Do you hear me?
Yes, but we don't see your screen.
But we locked your screen.
Aha, okay. Yeah, I need to press again, turn the screen on.
Yeah. We are out of luck with the technology, unfortunately, today. So.
At least I can now see your screen, Dimitri.
You can?
Yes.
Okay. So here you can see this open land use map of Madagascar, and those are the administrative boundaries that I got from Dominic. They're very, very detailed, and the data, as you can see from OpenStreetMap, it just covers the area very limitedly. Here and there is some forests, and for example, where it's the capital, Antananarivo, you see that someone was digitizing it from some image that was like seen orthophoto image, and it's very, very rough detailed, and it can't be compared even to the level of the precision as we have for Europe. However, I didn't have chance yet to explore OpenStreetMap, how good it is for each African country. So I say maybe for Lesotho or from some other country it will be more detailed, but as you can see for Madagascar, it's very, very sparse coverage, and I think most of it was just something digitized from orthophoto images. Like here, it's maybe one city on the whole island that I have found that have more or less detailed mapping, maybe that corresponds to Corina in Europe, but in the rest didn't manage. So I will continue to look to explore this OpenStreetMap and search for other data sources. Maybe this time when I write to people, they will help me to find something else. And then maybe I can move to my last project, which is visualization of smart points of interest with heat map, and because I basically was working almost in all teams, I didn't have much time for this project, so I just created the data for now, and I have visualized them also with technique of heat map, but just with the help of map server, and I can show you some images how it looks. So if I yes. So basically, I will explain you what you see. So here it's Czech Republic, and here is a heat map that displays the distribution of spoils. For this heat map, just smart points of interest that lie within residential areas were taken into account. So it's just filtered by residential areas, and let me show you. As you can see, obviously, it's just the biggest density in two biggest cities of Czech Republic, Praha and Brno. And when you zoom, you basically see that it's more or less that residential areas. It's basically where people lived. So of course, where the most people lived, it will be more points in living areas. So. But sometimes it can be interesting because I think generally it can show the quality of and the character of OpenStreetMap. For example, here, let me show you. I have found something very interesting in this. Sorry, I need to find Iglava. Yes, so if you go to Java, you have two big centers. One is a city center, which has lots of smart points of interest, and another one is that has also lots of points of interest. It's a shopping center. And when you zoom closer, you see that someone has mapped in that shopping center all shops, all services that they have. That's why it looks like it has lots of interesting things, but it's just because maybe someone has mapped all shops that are in this shopping center. So it's quite interesting observation. And also another heat map that I have made, it's this heat map of smart points of interest that lie in agricultural areas. Let me show you. Basically, agricultural means forestry, agriculture, mining, basically primary sector of economy. And here you can see that it's more or less quite even distribution around rural areas of Czech Republic, just maybe in the north, where there are lots of tourists coming from Germany. They maybe mapped a little bit more more points of interest in those rural areas. So you can see that just close to German borders in mountains, it's some island of these points. But I assume that they have mapped all peaks, all cliffs in that area. That's why it looks so full, this distribution. But basically, that is for now quite simple visualization. But in the future, I will do it through WebGL layer, and it will be more opportunities for filtering.
Dimitri, can I ask you a question about this?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, because you were showing a map of Czech Republic, but for those who would be interested in doing this together with you, it wouldn't be a problem to choose other regions?
Yes, it is not a problem because we have these data sets, open land use and smart points of interest. They cover the whole Europe, so it's not a problem to do it. Just it needs to be pre-computed because we have millions of those points and millions of polygons. So I needed maybe to run at first some 30 minutes query to say in which land use each smart point of interest lies, but in general it's not a problem as those data sets are available and open.
Yeah, so somebody from another country or from a city, for instance, who would join could just find this on their own localities of interest.
Yes, yes. It's totally possible.
Yeah. Okay. So that was the third project you had?
Yes, yes. And hopefully the last.
No, very, very interesting. So you see, there's lots of different opportunities to join this hackathon. Now, we can try to move on to Karel Jedlicka, maybe? Are you ready,
yes.
Karel?
I'm ready to present, yes.
Yep.
So I will start to share my screen. Hopefully you can now see my presentation. My presentation will be about 3D. Is it okay?
Yes.
Thanks. So my presentation will be about 3D open land use, which was our first idea to visualize this data set in some perspective view, so present the data in its 3D nature. I know that I have 3 minutes, so I would like to present 3 messages here. First of all, the idea, then our approach, and some results, which are 2 applications which we have today. So our idea was to incorporate the ability of visualizing 3D data to HS layers. Sorry. So you still don't.
I see screen. Yes.
So I should be now.
Yes, I hear Karel, and I see screen.
So I was on slide 3 describing our original idea. Can you now hear me, Bente?
I hear you. Seems that Bente not.
Okay. So I will try to continue. Our intention was to extend HS layer new generation by integration of 3D module in there, which is a cesium module. The other idea was to promote open data, as already was mentioned, the open land use and other open data as well. By presenting them in 3D environment. And during working on that, second idea came around, and it was to show further potential of 3D data visualization by going to some small area, visualize the data from large ratios or large zoom levels. So our approach was, of course, first of all, to integrate the cesium plugin into HS layers, and you can follow this link which goes to GitHub to see how it was done and what how you can join the team in this part if you would like. There are still some performance issues, etc. So you can discuss it later. We then first of all visualize the open land use on top of digital elevation model, which come from some Copernicus satellites. You can even get some information about the DEM as well. And as I mentioned already, the third step was to go into smaller area to visualize more detailed data on more detailed terrain. So the first application is freely available under this link. Again, the presentation will be available after the webinar, I guess. What is nice on this application is that we finally have the ability to add a custom data set as long as it is the WMS service in WVGS 84 coordinate system. So you can add your webmap service to this application, and you can show you can portray your data together with the data of open land use, or even just with the terrain data, and you can see the data in perspective view. You can try it on yourself. I am not going to show it now because it's time consuming, but we will provide some example set of WMS which are able to put it in, so you can play with the data. The second application is focused on precision farming, and the reason for this is to prepare an information to a farmer about the yield potential of the field he or she is working on. So first of all, we needed some local digital terrain model and even digital surface model. Then we calculate slope and aspect from this. We are working on having a topographic vegetation index, or even NDVI data from satellites. So these are layers which will come later, and we have some pre-calculated yield potential which can be explored in 3D, and this is something which we believe is helpful for a farmer to see how the yield potential correlates with the terrain issues. More during working on this application, there was another issue coming up, and it's machinery track lines. So this is something I can show you if I load the application now. Just very short example. Hopefully it will work even during the live demo. Cross me fingers. Yes, you can see how the data are loading. So you can see the yield potential here. You can just very shortly see it's really in 3D, and you can see some machinery tracks here. And if I go to the layers here, I can turn, for example, the slope in degrees. And when I get the slope in degrees, if I have it here, I can now see how the color of the machinery trend lines correlates to the slope. But unfortunately, the connection cannot get the video streaming and displaying the application together. This is very interesting application. You can now see how the terrain data were finally loaded. So this is something which can be useful for the farmer. We have some explore information if you click into the field, so the farmer can explore the data. The thing here is that we still need to work on the formatting of the results, etc. So this was the presentation about the second application. Unfortunately, it cannot be public now because we still don't have permission to show publicly the data about GTM and DSM, but we are working on it, and hopefully we'll be successful until the 1st of September. Well, talking about what we need to do in the future, there is still some ongoing development, or even there are some further areas which you can see on the screen, and I'm ready to talk about any connection to the team, so you're more than welcome, even just for the reason then because the 3D is just fun. So thank you for the time you spent with my presentation.
Thank you so much, Karel.
Now leave a spot to Mike, who will speak out instead of me. There are no questions.
It seems that we lost again. Bente, are you there?
I'm ready for questions, but if there are not, I think that I should leave the webinar because of Mike can get in as the next presenter. So I will be ready. Yeah, I hear you.
We hear you. Yes, I will have two short presentation. It is on the behalf of other people, but I will make two short presentations from two other pilots. Yes. And meantime, Mike can connect it and prepare his presentation. Do you see my presentation?
I guess I was gone. Okay, farm precision.
Okay, you heard today already about Smart Point of Interest database, and the idea is to extend it, this database with the information about farm offering services like agrotourism, selling from the farm, and other type of the services. So the idea is to extend it in the model data sets about this data and to help to the people looking for some supplier of a good product or good holidays. Based on the smart point of interest, and now we start, or the people start work with the data in Czech Republic. So here are the link where you can put your data in the form of a spreadsheet, because we decided to help people to put the data to the spreadsheet in a very simple form. So if anybody will be interested to put his data into this application, which is now starting, but we plan to continue, you can put the data, and here is also a link for first visualization. In the future we plan to go with better visualization, but it was mainly for the demo. And we start with some farm from Czech Republic, and you can see some places. If there is more farm in some place, it could be group together, or if they are individual, you can see individual, and then you can see information about the farms. You can see the details. So to extend this and to help, because we think that this could be something very useful, we are looking for people who has the databases which could be published as open data, and who are ready with us to work on this concept of find your producer. I think that this is now very important if you are looking for good quality, and also if you would like to support some biofarms or support local productions, that such application could be useful. So this is the first things. Second things, what I have is I think a little boring in the comparison with most of previous presentations, because the discussion will be only about metadata and the format, but for the implementation of future metadata and future search, also such work is needed. And here is the work on implementing of GeoDCAD, and also supporting combination of open data and geospatial data. It is done by my colleague, and mainly focus is because we are now able to support GeoDCAD in Mitska, but a lot of project or activities are using CCAN. So we are now focusing on two things, on the plugins for CCAN to support their Inspire metadata as are now used based on ISO 19115, but also support metadata search in CCAN using GeoDCAD. There is some first prototype, what's on the first page. So here you can see the development of prototype, and we plan to have final result till Inspire conference, and tools will be available on GitHub for usage. So anybody who is dealing with these activities will come to contact our teams. So this was very shortly about this to issue. In both things we are interested about potential cooperation. it's all from my side. So if there is no question, then Bente, probably no question, I expect, or is there something? Okay, so in such case, I think that mic floor is yours.
Yes. Okay. So I will try to be as short as possible. I would like to present continued development of mobile application for open land use. We identify several objectives. Mainly it's about visualization of data of the position of the device and to add some functionality to existing mobile application. And due to the fact that we are dealing with specific audience, we decide to redesign the HS layer's new generation graphical user interface. So there is some objectives that are already done and are already missing. So we made visualization of position. We are able to read the attributes of the base map, and we are now testing the redesigned HS layers user interface. The structure of the solution is as following on this diagram. So we have a database with SenseLog data model that is able to sort VGI. We have SenseLog core and specific SenseLog VGI module with several web services for handling with data. Now we are able to cooperate with HS collector for mobile version on left top corner and for web version in bottom left corner. The mobile application before the old version was really with some need of improvement of the user interface for usage on mobile devices due to the fact that the interface was not very suitable for common users. So the main workflow is as follows. The device has visualization of own position. Then we are able to manage the layers, to select the appropriate layer, to create new points. We see some list of features that are able to visualize, that are able to edit. And then we see form attributes of specific feature. The new version of the application is designed to material design guidelines by Google. So we are mainly oriented on 3 new features of the user interface. The most important one is the action button. It's called floating action button. It is changing functionality according to the needs of the module. So in this case, in the first screen, we are allowed to see layers. The second screen shows that we are able to add new geometry, polygon, line, and points. And on this last, we see that it's allowed to open site menu and context menu for additional features and functionality. For Senslog, we are working on improvement in the field of new web services, mainly for publishing VGI with the secondary geometry. That means that not only the position of the device, but the geometry of the feature in the terrain. So it will be the feature for open land use. And second one will be the web service for exporting collected new features to open land use data model. So mainly it will be RDF or any kind of export format. So all from my side.
Okay, Bente seems that Shalom now joined us. So Shalom, you have also your presentation, yes?
Yes. And Michael, you finished? You
Yes,
managed
Michael
to finish? Yes, good.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, Shalom, welcome. Can you turn on your camera maybe so we can meet you too? The camera and the microphone. Ah, there you are.
Hello.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Hi.
Yes.
Now, how can I share my screen? Just a minute. Inspire. Plan for all.
So Shalom is finding his presentation. I guess that's what you're doing. Shalom Royer, he is. Turn off the screen share again, Shalom.
It's worked very slowly. Just a minute.
Yes.
Wow. I can't open my presentation.
Do you have it on your?
No, my computer can't open the presentation. It's not responding.
Oh. So maybe we'll just present it without the support of a presentation.
Oh, now it's open. Just a minute.
Okay.
So, how can I share it?
There's a screen icon on the top of your screen, in the middle there.
Okay.
Just push that.
There are three icons on the top, and the right icon is for sharing the screen.
We see your screen.
Okay. Oh.
No.
Too many screen. Now you can see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So my name is Shalom, as Bente already said. I'm working for a small software house named Maso, which is located in the north of Israel. People who knows Israel, it's near the lake of the Sea of the Galil. Most of our customers are come from the agriculture area, and I want to speak about three challenges. But when one of them, Karel already spoke about the yield potential. So I want to speak about Bente. Can you hear me? Someone can hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. So I want to speak about three challenges that connect each other. The first one is I want to draw the borders of the plantation automatically. Then we want to define the fruit type of the plantation automatically. And at the end, as Karel Jelica already spoke about, is the measuring of the yield of the plantation. And here you can see two plantations. One of them is a date plantation, and one of them is banana plantation. And is there any algorithms that can draw automatically the borders of those plantations? These plots are very close to my office. The second challenge is can we define the fruit type? Can we define which is this date or a banana or something else? And the last challenge is to know the potential yield, as Karel Jelica already spoke. So after we can measure this yield, we can check it and compare it to manually information that we have in our ERP systems. In ERP system, sometimes we have even the borders and the fruit types, and sometimes the yield, but it's stored in the ERP manually. So we can run the automatic algorithms and then compare it with the ERP information. So I'm not speaking about a system that we already developed, but I'm looking for tools that we can implement for help us to solve these issues, these challenges. This is my short presentation. Here you can see my email. So if someone has an idea how to implement these issues, I will be happy to hear about it. That's for now. Karel? Someone here?
Thank
Bente?
you. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Shalom. So you can
so
unshare your screen again if you're finished. Yeah. So we are waiting for Karel to return. Yes, we are. We are approaching the end. We have been infested with technical problems today, so that expanded our time somewhat. But there are many interesting projects, and it's not too late. And Karel will tell you now how you can join us and talk about what kind of rewards that we are giving.
Okay, so I will not switch to the presentation because I think that I can tell this without presentation fast. So the first, you saw the number of ideas, and I think that you can see also some possibility to that these ideas could cooperate, because we use very often similar data sets, and probably the data generated from one tool or from other could be used by other application. I see here as good potential and also some demonstration that this approach is good, and I believe that some result could be shared with more projects like Data Bio and NextGeos and other. We heard a lot about metadata. Probably will be good if we will have metadata from Open Land Use to connect this with response to the metadata of single municipality land use, or we can update the data. The data then could be used by different analytical tools. I saw this as very positive, and as for example Dmitry demonstrated, as we can do a lot in any countries also outside of Europe, but we need people who will be ready to cooperate, who will be able to share the data or eventual experience or ideas. I think that most of pilots will continue also after this hackathon. So if anybody is in something, please contact me or Thomas or directly leaders of single team and try to agree and discuss with them the possibility. About, as I mentioned, we will present it all this result on Inspire conference, second day of Inspire conference in the morning. So there will be also chance to contact the team and speak with the team, and we plan in some way selected presentation from 3 points of view. One is that we are preparing now a jury where we would like to have the people from Inspire community, JOS community, and others. So if here it is welcome to become the part of the jury. Any person participating on our workshop will be able to vote application, and also on the end all application will be presented for all portal with the possibility to support ideas which you like, because really we would like to stay alive with this idea and turn this into the project, into the praxis, and continue on the reason of our hackathon. And I hope that this is the first step to build some really community around Inspire hacks and about all this dataset project. And I hope that also with the help of others, we will extend this datasets which are now used for hackathon. So I would like thanks from my side to all presenters. I would like thanks to Bente for preparing this, and I would like thanks to all people who was today with us on this webinar. Bye.
Yeah, Karel, before we let people go, I wanted to add something. With respect to, you hear me, right?
Yes, yeah, I hear you.
Not well.
Yeah. So, yes, I'd like to, like this, I would also like to underline what Karel said about visibility in between. One of the rewards of participating in this hackathon, which is already popular in the Inspire community. By participating here, you get some airtime, some attention for your project of interest and your problems of interest. And like Karel said, this is a very nice way of building a community. We will help you, the organizer will help you, the teams that are scoring high on when we do the evaluation of the teams. We will help you, we'll get some extra airtime, we will videotape it and write some articles and so on to help promote this hackathon, in particular the teams that are winning. We have identified some criteria for the evaluation, and that is of course the relevance to Inspire and GEOS, two very important organizations, the degree of innovation, and the usefulness for environment and society. That's always very interesting for people to see the link between what we do in hacking to societal use. And also, as we are mixing a lot of different data here, making data interoperable. So to what extent are you in your project making data interoperable? Because making the data interoperable will be an important part of making the data into useful information. So just to mention that, at late stage hackathon, there is a few days left. We have the 24th today, and by the 1st of September, you in the teams are supposed to deliver the results and present it in the workshop at the Inspire conference on the 5th of September. I just wanted to highlight also the benefit of what before we let people go. So, We don't have any so much questions left. We have some comments have come in that there are some interested parts, so we will pick that up after the webinar. So sorry about technical problems. I hope you were anyway tempted to join one of these teams.
Bente, we are losing you.
Oh, are you losing me? Okay. Okay. You see me?
Yeah. Now it's a little.
Disappear.
Yes, see you again.
Goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you very much.